Welcome back, my name's Cal, and in today's video we're going to be pulling apart a microwave. Let's get into it. This is the old girl here. Now we've had her for a few years now. We had it given to us a few years ago, and it's definitely served its time for us and the previous owners before. I don't know about yous, but when I seem to want to have ice cream at night and the ice cream's a bit too hard for your spoon, it just starts to bend the spoon, I usually zap me ice cream in the microwave, and this is what this microwave was good for. So I'm definitely going to miss the old girl. Anyway, without further ado, let's get her straight on the scales. Rightio, so our going price at the moment at the local scrapyard is 8 cents a kilo. So I'll just go ahead and set that in by hitting store and going 8 cents. Now we'll gently put the microwave on the scales. Total weight is 10.5 kilos and the unit price we've already set to 8 cents and the total price is 84 cents. Rightio, so we'll start off by cutting the lead. Now we'll go ahead and remove all the screws. Now just before we get any further, I might actually take the glass out. It's probably not a bad idea, so it's not bouncing around everywhere. Now here's the inside of the microwave. Now over here we've got the transformer, the magnetron, the capacitor, and then there's just a few other little motors and stuff for the fan and your PCBs. Now we'll try and get this whole cover off here so we can get a good look into the microwave. Rightio guys, so we've got a bit of steel here. I'll just put this aside for the weighing. Just before we jump in and start pulling apart the microwave, I do not recommend anyone going ahead and doing this whatsoever. Microwaves are very dangerous and they do run at high voltages. Now, if that said, let's jump straight into it. So what we're doing now is I'm just going to go through and pull all the cables out that I can, and then we'll start pulling out all the components. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove all these screws at the back here. Here we have the transformer. Now I'm just going to get my file and I'm just going to see if the windings are alley or they are copper. And unfortunately that is alley. Now with the second winding, it is also alley as well. Here we have the capacitor. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure it is discharged, which it is. Now we'll go ahead and remove the motor. Now we'll remove the magnetron. Here we have the magnetron. Now, believe it or not, this is actually what heats your food up. Now we will go ahead and remove this PCB real gently. And that is copper. Now we just got this little switch, and that is in fact brass. Now we'll remove the fan. Now that is copper. Now, majority of the time, they are usually copper, but sometimes you just never know. And another little switch there as well. Now I'm just going to leave the door as is, and I will just take that in as dirty steel. Now just going through to make sure we haven't missed anything, but it looks like we just got a nice clean steel shell. Righto, so we're just going to remove this little switch here, and as you can see, it's got a nice copper winding in there. It's only a little, but it all adds up. Here we have the printed circuit board. Now at my local scrapyard, they offer $2.10 a kilo. Now you can go through and micro scrap all the little pieces here, but for me and this little PCB, I don't think it's worth it. These little pieces here are actually brass, so we'll just make a little pile for that. Just with the transformer, I'm not going to worry about separating the alley from the steel. Personally, I don't think it's worth the time, so we will just take that in as is. Yeah, you don't want to miss these little copper windings inside the magnetron. Now here are two little magnets that you get out of the magnetron. Now they are actually quite powerful. I do like them, and they don't really come in handy. I'm just gonna leave that as is and just class that as electric motor. So it's now time for the weighing. Now, I'm just gonna run through each component. So here, I'm gonna class as dirty steel just because it's got plastic and a bit of steel. And then the housing and the backing and the sides for the microwave is clean steel. Moving up onto the table, we've got some aluminium that we got out of the magnetron. The transformer, which is still alley, clean steel. Now, capacitors are a bit of a funny one. Now, our scrapyard allows us to put them in with the clean steel, but I know some scrapyards just put them aside as dirty steel. Every scrapyard's different is basically what I'm trying to say. Over here we got PCBs. Now we just weigh them as motherboards. And then we've got copper, PVC, insulated cable, brass, and electric motor. Rightio guys, so that concludes the video. Now we got a total of $2.53. Now the transformer was a bit of a letdown as it was only alley. If it was copper, we probably would have made a few more dollars. Now it was a good experience pulling apart the microwave. It is in fact my first time pulling apart a microwave, so the total was actually an hour it took me to pull apart this microwave completely. And yeah, it was quite interesting to see how it all is put together. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please smash that like button, and without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video.